There is a lie that has been told to us since we were born, and it will be shattered right now in this video, the division between the material and the spiritual realms, as if they were two completely separate things. Believe me, this is one of the greatest illusions they taught us to believe, and if you free yourself from it, you will be ahead of most people who live their lives unaware of this. This content is gold, so watch until the end, because today we will explain to you how everything is matter, even what we call the spiritual world, and how this explanation enables an entire civilization to exist in subtle planes of matter, as well as the persistence of our consciousness after death. We will also talk about how physical illnesses indicate that the spiritual and material worlds are inseparable. But before that, please like, subscribe to our channel, and activate notifications to receive more serious and well-grounded spiritual content for your life. It takes you less than a second, and it motivates us to keep producing content. Now that you've liked and subscribed, let's get straight to the point. Logic insists on telling us that the material world and the spiritual world are completely separate, right? Well, the spiritual and the material world are not opposites, but expressions of the same essence in different frequencies. In other words, they are all expressions of matter. Yes, even that wooden table in front of you or that stone that seems so solid are just forms of energy, but with such low density and vibration that our senses cannot perceive their true nature. Matter is not something separate from energy, but a form of this energy vibrating in a slower and denser way, creating the structures we are used to seeing in the physical world. According to modern physics and quantum theory, all matter is composed of subatomic particles like atoms and electrons, which are in constant movement and vibration. These particles are not fixed or static. They are always in activity, but at a very low frequency. What we perceive as solid is actually an agglomeration of atoms vibrating at such a low frequency that it seems motionless to us. Reality, therefore, is not as solid as we think, but a manifestation of energy in a more dense and slow vibrational state. This means that matter is a condensed form of energy which appears hard to our eyes, but in its essence is pure vibration. And if matter is nothing more than energy in a denser form, this gives us an entirely new perspective on the creation and transformation of reality. If we can alter the vibration of a substance or energy, we can change its form. In the same way, our body, mind, and emotions are all vibrational systems that can be raised or lowered. And this also means that the spiritual world can also be matter, but more subtle. Now imagine that on the other side of life, in the spiritual realm, there are civilizations that inhabit cities made of more subtle, refined matter. Entire cities of energy, pulsing at a frequency that our physical body cannot perceive, but that is intrinsically connected to our existence. What we call the spiritual world is not a distant and isolated entity, but a continuation, a more elevated version of the reality in which we live. A long time ago, an esoteric and philosophical concept told us, as above, so below. This principle, which comes from Hermetic traditions and alchemy, teaches us that everything that happens in the spiritual realm has a reflection in the material realm. Heaven and earth, spirit and body, are connected in ways that, at first glance, may seem opposite. But in reality, they are interdependent. There is no real separation between what is spiritual and what is physical. They are two manifestations of a single reality, and by recognizing this connection, we can achieve true harmony. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest geniuses in history, said, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." And as Julius Robert Mayer explained, energy is never lost, it only transforms. If everything vibrates, then consciousness, which is also energy, never disappears. It just changes state. In other words, what differentiates one thing from another is not the existence itself, but the frequency at which it vibrates. Everything is energy. Everything is connected. And if everything vibrates, then consciousness, which is also energy, never fades. It only transforms. Since energy cannot be created or destroyed, then death does not exist. The body may dissolve, but what you truly are remains. And consciousness? Well, it is also energy. The electroencephalogram EEG proves that. When we record brain activity, what we measure are actually electrical impulses, small currents of energy that reflect our thoughts, emotions, and mental states. It's only a fraction of what we can capture from consciousness, but it already shows that we are made of energy in motion. Another way we can prove that there is no dissociation between spirit and matter is by talking about physical diseases. You must have heard the saying, "A healthy mind is a healthy body." We could also say that a healthy mind is a healthy spirit, because there is no separation between what we think, feel, and what we experience on a physical level. The mind and spirit are inextricably interconnected. Therefore, if you are in a bad mental state, your spirit is also affected. As an example, when the spirit is disturbed by unresolved hurts, resentments, or traumas, the body begins to somatize these issues. It may start as a persistent pain, a chronic illness, or even something more serious. The body becomes the mirror of a sick spirit, which needs to be treated, healed, and restored. If our mind is at peace, our spirit will also be, and this is directly reflected in our physical health. What's interesting is that illness does not start in the physical body. It originates in the spiritual realm and gradually manifests in our physical world, much like we commonly think it originates in the biopsychosocial aspect, but we forget the spiritual part. The truth is that the physical body, with all its complexities, is merely a manifestation of what exists in more subtle planes, in frequencies that our eyes cannot perceive, but which profoundly influence our daily experience. Unbalanced energies, repressed emotions, and negative beliefs create an internal reality that ends up materializing in the physical world. That's why we can see that we live in one world, a universe where what is spiritual reflects what is physical, and vice versa. They are not separate but intertwined in a way that the well-being of the spirit is fundamental to the health of the body. What happens within us, at our essence, is directly reflected in what we see and feel in the physical world. Healing, therefore, doesn't come just from the outside, but from within us, from reconciling with the spirit. And that's why there is no distinction between matter and spirit. Scientists one day will finally find this ultimate truth that will change everything. And what about you? What do you think? Let us know your opinion in the comments. If something resonated with you, share this knowledge with a friend or in your spiritual group. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you won't miss other content. See you in the next video. Peace profound.